Yeah, so you got
So
called in to be a standby, and so they called you on Sunday, and what was that conversation
yeah, so it was a text message.
from Susan?
No, from Marsha.
Oh, from Marcia. Okay.
um, so we were in the car. So I wake up and I'm like, oh God, I bet they're gonna call me today. Like if they don't, fine. But I'm still going on vacation. And like my husband and I hop in the car and like we drive. We're going to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and about like a few hours in, we're like stopped at the Mars Cheese Castle to buy some squeaky cheese curds. And I get back in the car. And my husband goes, "You have a text message," and I was like, "Cool, read it to me." He was like, He's like, "Cool, okay, are you ready?" And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Is it Wicked?" And he was like, "It is Wicked." And I was like, "Okay." So I was like, I need to think about this. He goes, "Do you want to do this?" And I was like, I sat with it for a few minutes. I was like, I don't know. Like I really thought I was done, and like I'm about to go on vacation, and like I'm so excited about my vacation. Like we were just gonna like be in a cabin in the woods in the snow and just like have a great week. And I was like, I don't know, there was something in me, I think because of all of the attention that like Understudies and Swings, this moment that was happening in New York. I was just like, I like want to kind of be a part of that. Like that, that, that part of that is such a big part of who I am and who I was for a really long time, that like to have this opportunity to go in and be a part of that and to like help keep the lights on, like I love Broadway. I love the theater. I love Wicked, like I really do. I love the show,
Yeah, it's
and
a
being a
great
part of the show
show.
is right. It's been like
It's
such
such
a
a good
big part of
story.
my
It just feels so good to walk out that theater after doing that
life.
show.
Yeah. It's like, I was just like, I feel that I have to do this. Like, I feel
Hmm.
like it is bigger than me. And like, I have the week off from work. So like, I can do this. So I was like, I gotta go. He's like, okay. I was like, but first I gotta sing through the songs.
Like, do I even have those notes right now?
I was like, oh,
The
and
most
like
unnatural, the most unnatural notes that anyone. And yeah, anyway, go ahead. So you're just like, I've got to sing
I
through
gotta
this.
I gotta tell you, I don't know if I'm just like a freak of nature and have like freakish vocal cords, but like Elphaba sits very nicely in my
I noticed
voice.
that listening to you. I'm just saying, I'm not a vocal expert, but I will say, I noticed that listening to you, I was like, it just sits in your voice in such a cool way that it's much more natural for you. Yeah.
I think because I was like a coloratura soprano before and my voice is set really high, like it sits in a really like okay place for me where I don't usually have problems with it. Like I can usually do it whenever.
Cool.
And so like that also was part of it. I was like, well, I know like I can sing the show. I haven't sung much in 2 years, 2.5 years, whatever, but like
It
it's
sits in
all
your
there.
voice. Yeah.
Yeah, and like muscle memory, man. Stuff's real.
Yeah.
Adrenaline, real, real.
So you book a flight, or they book a flight for you to fly to
Yeah.
New York on Monday?
Yeah, Monday. So I flew out like mid morning, but my flight got delayed. It was a horrible snowstorm in Upper Michigan. All that was like the day where like everything was being canceled.
Oh my
So like
gosh.
flights were being delayed, and can't. I spent so much time in airport just like panicking that I was gonna get COVID, and then I was gonna get to New York and I was gonna test positive when I got there. And I was like, cool. So thanks for flying me out. I'm gonna just live in this hotel room for a week and then go home. So I got there. I got there right in time to watch the show Monday night because they had a Monday night show because of the holiday schedule.
Holidays. Hmm.
So Monday night show, and then I went home. I slept. I had a rehearsal all day, all afternoon Tuesday. I followed Jenny around the show Tuesday night. And then like that was it. They're like, we think you're ready. Do you want to do another run through like during Wednesday during the matinee? And I was like, yeah, why not?
Up in the
Like,
studio.
yeah, I was like, it can't hurt. Like, I would love to just do it again. Like, so me and the stage manager, she played every part. It was just me and her and a pianist, and we went through the whole
I
show
definitely have
again.
been in that rehearsal too. Yes.
Yeah. Singing As Long as You're Mine with our stage manager is a very fun experience. It's lovely. Like watching her play everything
She
is
loves
just
it. She
She
lives her
loves
best life. Yes.
it. So yeah, and like by the time we were done, they were like, "Okay, you're ready. Like we feel good. You feel good?" I was like, "I feel good." Yeah. I mean, I feel the same I felt every other time I understudied it. I feel like I haven't done it in a while and I know it and like I just gotta you gotta put me on, coach, so I can make sure I know it. Like there's no other way around it, right? When you're an
Yep.
understudy, you're like, I just gotta do it.
Yep.
Like
It's
I
the best
know it.
way. Yep.
I got my numbers. I know all the dialogue. It's so yeah, and then I just kind of waited. We were taking antigen tests every morning, testing
Every day.
every day. So like every morning you wake up, you take a test, you take a picture of it, you send it in
Oh,
to their testing people. Um, so I had done a PCR right when I got there that was negative. So like then after once you take the PCR, they do the antigen test every
got
day.
it.
So it was just kind of like, well, you're ready as long as you can go on. And our standby had been doing so many shows, and because she'd been the only person in the building for a little while, and was just like, I like needed a moment, like just needed to take a moment,
Yeah, and
and
that
I was
holiday schedule's brutal too because you do like 16 shows in a row or something insane.
it
Yeah.
was crazy. So I was like, you let me know when you want it, when you're ready, girl. I'm here if you need me. I'm also fine if you want to just keep plowing through. Like I'm here. I am just here. Use me if you want. Um, and so I kind of knew I was going to be on for the Saturday night show. But again, it was that thing where you're like, I still have to wake up and take that test. And if it's positive, I can't do that show. So I just like was living in like fear of taking my test every morning.
And like not leaving the apartment, I'm sure. Just like, yeah.
Oh, I literally I stayed like New Year's Eve. I was in on 49th between Broadway and 8th in a hotel room right in Times Square. And I was just like I could hear all the noise in Times Square and I'm just like can't go anywhere, can't leave
Just
my
like look out
room.
the window. Yeah, oh my gosh, that's crazy. You're in Times
It was
Square not looking at New Year's Eve.
it was
Wow.
probably the saddest New Year's Eve I've ever had. Yeah.
And so when they hired you to come in to be a standby for 2 weeks.
At first it was a week with the option to extend.
Got it. And so you wake up Saturday morning, you take your antigen test,
I
negative.
send them a message. I'm like, all right, I'm negative. And at that point, like, I'm like, our standby could also still be like, I'm going to come and do the show. Like, I can't, as an understudy, there are never guarantees that you're going to go on. Like,
Mhm.
even when somebody is like, hey, hint, hint, I might call out, you're like, until you do, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
so don't tell me
I'm not going to
that.
sit here and like freak out about it because a
Yeah.
lot of times I've had people tell me that and then they do the show that night.
Yeah, me
So
too.
like I don't right and you're like I don't get my hopes up because
Yep.
it's just like
Well, that's
unnecessary.
just healthy. That's just keeping yourself sane. Yeah.
Yeah. So until like I got the call around like noon on Saturday, I was like, well, okay, I'm negative, so they know that I'm here if they need me. And then I just spent the rest of the day in my room doing the show in the mirror, in the shower, steaming it up,
Hmm.
singing, just being like, I got it. I may or may not have a bootleg of the show that I watched, um, just to watch the numbers and the
Yep.
tracks and everything.
Hmm.
You do what you got to do. So, and I was like, all right. I hit a point where I was like, I need to stop. I know this. I just like, there's nothing else I can do. I've gone through all of the fast, like, bits like there's those scenes where like there's like the the scene at the end right before Defying Gravity with Chistery. It's like, oh no, Chistery, are you all right? Oh, it's just a transition, dearie. No, no, he's not.
Yeah.
He's
It's
something's
fast,
wrong.
fast, fast. Yeah.
It's like, and you have to like memorize everybody's lines in order to do it. And so
Yep.
like those those were the moments that get me the most scared because I'm like, I you just kind of have to trust them.
Yeah, because
Like,
there's like all that underscoring and scenic movement happening all at the same time. Yeah, it's a lot.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
So
yeah.
so Saturday, you were like, okay, I know it. I can give myself a little bit of a break. And what happened?
Um, I get there. I get to the theater Saturday night. I got there very early. I sat in the dressing room for a little bit and just was like, I'm going to be in the space. I have a really big tattoo on my arm that I got recently as also like a I'm done performing. I'm getting a really big tattoo on my arm. And so they had to like cover my tattoo up and like do all this makeup because it showed through the green mesh. I gotta say, like, the Elphaba team are incredible. Like, the hair, the makeup, the dresser, like, they are, like, I don't know how they do it, but they are so positive and their energy is just like, it was like the driving force behind my show. Like, I would
Mm.
come off stage and be like, you got this! You're doing great! And I was like, thank you!
I mean,
Here
how else are
I am.
you gonna do it? Yeah, you gotta. That's
Yeah, it was
incredible.
I I mean, like as an understudy, like nerves are not helpful. Adrenaline can be, right? Like feeling like anxious, like I can't do this, and like panicking is not helpful. So,
No.
like, so channeling that adrenaline into the show is like the thing that's going to get you through it. And like, I knew we were sitting there painting me green. I was like, I'm so chill. I'm not like nervous yet. And like, it always comes right before you run out on stage. And I really think the beautiful thing about Wicked for an understudy is the way Elphaba is crafted in the beginning of the show, right? She like bursts out through that door and she's everybody's like laughing at her and she then gets to scream at everybody and then you sing the song that is just like about excitement and joy and being terrified and hopeful and like you're really like physically feeling all of those things. So you
Mm.
just use it. You're just like, cool, I'm going to live in this moment because that's where I am at the moment currently. And it's very grounding. It's like as an understudy for Alphabet, I like to think a lot of other girls would feel the same. I think that that moment is really just it allows you to kind of center yourself. You're like, okay, and you can kind of take your time at the beginning of the song and it's like you get to lock in with the conductor and like I think it's you like really feel your feet underneath you and then you're like and now I got this and now I can do the rest of the show and it's going to be fine.